watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
So just take a moment to discuss your responses with your peers.
Some mythology is like the heroes and what the characteristics of the heroes were.
Push our object. What's giving us our energy? The balloon.
Every student has access to a device, whether that be a laptop or a tablet. That's how students are learning. They're integrating technology with, of course, traditional books and things of that nature.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Shelby County School Report. We're coming to you from the studios of Germantown High School Television. I'm Angel Foster.
And I'm Melissa Goodwin. Each month we highlight various people, programs, and events making a difference in our school system. This month, we are focusing our attention on the district's move to the 21st century classroom and curriculum.
Over the past 2 years, Memphis Shelby County Schools has opened 3 new schools that look and feel completely different from the past traditional school.
Today we will look at 2 of those schools. We will also hear from the school board chair about the benefits those new schools are giving students in our SCS Focus interview.
So let's get right to it. When Parkway Village Elementary School opened in 2020, it became the district's first school to adhere to the 21st century school's educational approach. The result was a 150,000 square foot state-of-the-art school which had replaced 2 dated school buildings. Let's take a look.
My first feeling about Parkway Village Elementary is a feeling of joy and getting the information that we will be starting the first 21st century school in Tennessee was amazing because it was really exciting to be able to bring that to this community.
So Parkway Village combined Goodland Elementary School along with Knight Road Elementary School. So the point of 2 schools combined together aligns with our vision of the superintendent to reimagine 901. If we can take smaller, underserved schools that don't necessarily have the resources that match up to the 21st century learning skills needed, why not invest into one larger space, give the students everything they need?
I can remember in first grade, the first day we came over here, the kids are so excited to come into a brand new building that they knew was built for them.
The school is much bigger than the old one, about 2 times the size of the old one.
I feel really honored to be in the school because of how nice it is and how it involves a bunch of stuff that we didn't get in the old school.
Okay, I'm going to choose that one. Once you've chosen your sound, you go back to your code.
It was a lot of work. It took a lot of research. We spent a lot of time with the contractors, spent a lot of time with the architect of the building. And so to make sure that we purposely selected colors that were intended for a 21st century learning environment to go into this building.
The whole building is beautiful. The colors that in our classrooms, you'll see that you can arrange the desk in circles for the kids to collaborate. They have the wobbly seats for the busy boys, right? So I can have a small group at my table learning about something and they can be wobbling and that's okay, that's allowed, that's encouraged.
I really love the flexible seating. I think it gives kids options and they're able to pick the place that they learn best in.
And that really pushes our students to put forth their best effort.
Today's most important part of your plan was to show me the thrust. Please show me the word thrust.
I like to go to STEAM and reading. In reading, we obviously read and we use technology.
Good. Just need to add a period right here.
And I also like math.
1, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If I would describe project-based learning to anyone, I would say real world problem solving.
Do I glue them to my chassis?
Yes.
Louise says yes, table 2 says no. Louise, why do you say yes?
So it teaches students how to come up with real solutions using science, using technology, thinking about engineering and math, and putting it all together to continue to make this a grand and great place to be.
So here we are. Your balloon is in the front or the back?
It's a method or a technique or a pedagogy in which you're working with your peers and you're facilitating learning for the students, and you're throwing out different ideas, and hopefully they will kind of like latch on to some and they will take it upon themselves to increase their knowledge.
Now, while everybody is finishing this first reason, please start thinking of a second reason about why Santa has the hardest job.
It started out with a core group of teachers going to the training through Buck Institute, which is a Gold Star project-based learning implementation institute for teachers.
We were there for about a week, and we spent that time going through project-based learning modules. We were able to begin planning our own project-based units, which gave us that real hands-on practice before we were able to come back here and do it on our own.
And I was super excited because it's authentic teaching, the way that kids love to learn, collaborating with their peers, interacting, having those experiences with one another.
Yes, because we get to have a more better experience with the school and with how we involve technology and our project-based learning projects.
We have co-curricular classes that occur during the school time to support the instruction in 21st century skills, and we also have a plethora of extracurricular activities that are held after school.
Listen, say this for me. Say nanny, nanny, new, nice.
And a lot of these clubs have been taken on by our teachers, giving of their time to ensure that they're saying that I'm committed to exposing our students to 21st century learning. So if this is what it takes, I'm going to commit to be a part of a club that will enhance that experience for our students.
I'm going to make you play exactly what you just did.
We have a guitar teacher for the students. We have our very own teachers expanding their talents to deliver courses such as band to the students, choir. We also have garden STEM available to our students. We have drama club that's available to our students, chess, wheels of STEM, as well as arts and crafts.
You are looking and deciding what you want to do.
I want to see the school as a local body for our community of Parkway Village. We want to start here at the groundwork, developing communication skills for our students, getting them to a place where they can feel comfortable, sitting at a table with anyone and knowing that they have a voice, feeling confident about what they have to speak on, and to know that their ideas matter.
I really am going to miss this school because of all of the experiences that I've had here. I'm going to miss that.
That was a look at Parkway Village Elementary School. When we come back, executive producer Allison Long sits down with the school board chair to talk about the district's new educational approach to 21st century learning.
GHS-TV started in 1982, and it was just a couple of cameras, a couple of on-air personality, and it's really grown into what you see today. It's a multi-million-dollar studio with top-of-the-line technology.
Being able to operate, all of the machinery in the control room, being able to use all of our software and hardware that we have around the studio is a great skill because this is top-of-the-line equipment.
I feel like this class has brightened my horizon. It's something that I never thought I would be doing, especially as a student.
GHS-TV is probably one of the most hands-on experiences a student will ever get in their lifetime.
Welcome back to Crosstalk. Nothing really has just the vibe that we have here.
Especially after you finished, you get a real rush of, wow, I just did that.
By the time a student graduates from Germantown High School, they will know pretty much every position there is, from producing to directing to on-air work.
You learn time management, you learn organization, you learn how to work with people, how to better communicate with people.
We put a lot on them, and they have to be able to have the responsibility and the knowledge to get everything that we ask them.
I had very little experience, so in the past 3 years, the skills that I've learned have absolutely exponentially grown.
The class has actually helped me figure out that I want to go to college for journalism.
When a student graduates, they are the best possible version of themselves that they can be.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
For more information about the Kappa program, visit ghskappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Parkway Village Elementary School and Medical District High School, which you will see later, represent the future of Memphis Shelby County schools. The schools are a part of Superintendent Dr. Joris Ray's Reimagining 901 plan. So will we see similar schools pop up around the district? Here to talk about that and more is Michelle McKissack, Chairwoman of the Memphis Shelby County Board of Education. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So there's a lot of excitement recently with Dr. Ray's state of the district, and I wanted to ask you about specifically the concept of the 21st century schools.
The 21st century school is simply acknowledging that how students learn today is not exactly how they learned in the 20th century. I mean, with all the technology improvements, with the fact that now that every student has access to a device, whether that be a laptop or a tablet, that's how students are learning. They're integrating technology with, of course, traditional books and things of that nature.
So we have schools like I need to check my notes, Parkway Village Elementary School, I want to make sure I get that right, and Medical City High School, or Medical District High School. What are the differences between a 21st century school, in elementary school and in high school?
Well, as far as Parkway Village School, first of all, that has all the bells and whistles. It's a brand new school. It actually merged 3 different schools that were not the population that they should be in terms of the number of students in those schools. And so by bringing all those resources together, where we don't have just like, a few hundred students in this school and that school, bringing them all together. So now we are increasing their level of access to more technology, to having staffing there for their classes. I was just in that school building not too long ago, and it's a beautiful building in terms of how they're learning. Everything's not at a traditional desk like how we used to learn. Now they have pods, or they actually take space in a stairwell that they've used a part of that and just made it more of a versatile learning space. So it's just having a different approach. It's not just actually even the physical aspect of it, it's the mental aspect of it. Now, as far as Medical District High School, also one of our newest schools in our district, 21st century learning is how we are now even more so. We had a few schools who are integrating those relationships with higher learning institutions. Medical District has partnered up with Southwest Tennessee Community College, and now students have an opportunity when they graduate to also have an associate's degree at the same time. So having those different types of approaches and that next level thinking in terms of how we learn today, that's really is what the essence of 21st century learning is all about.
And can you talk to us more about the higher level of secondary education and how maybe the students are going about taking honors classes and dual enrollment classes? Is that only for juniors and seniors? Can that start as early as 9th grade? And what does that look like for students?
Believe it or not, that's actually even starting like in elementary school, the concept, letting students and families know, parents know that this is a possibility for you, and planting that seed at the elementary school level. Then of course, at middle school, you're introduced to the concept more so. Then when you get to high school, we're talking about honors classes and dual enrollment, something that Dr. Ray just introduced in the recent State of the District address, that every student now who academically has that ability, they will now automatically be opted into our honors classes. Instead of having to enroll or make an application to be a part of those classes, if you have that academic ability, we're not waiting for someone to go and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, had you thought about this? Because we want to make sure that every student has that opportunity to stretch and to grow academically.
What does this look like moving forward for other 21st century schools in the district?
This is about expanding it to every school in our district, our high schools. For example, AP classes. Those were offered at more schools, or some schools had more AP classes than others. Well, now we're ensuring that every school has access to AP classes. And this is something that even the Tennessee Department of Education has really been stressing across the state, where they call it access for all. And where now you may have a student or a class of AP Japanese, for example. It's being offered physically at one school, but if there are some students in another school building who want to take that, they can also join that class virtually. The silver lining that I think that's come out of what we learned through the pandemic and virtual learning is that we don't have to go back to the way things were. We can take the best of what came out of that with our virtual learning and apply that to move forward into the 21st century and how we learn. So that was a silver lining, I think, with virtual learning.
If there are parents that are watching or students that are watching that want to be a part of these 21st century schools, what do they need to do to be a part of it?
There should be an element of 21st century learning at every school, whether that is Germantown High School or Booker T. Washington High School. But I would say definitely reach out to your principal and see what is happening at your school that you can take advantage of. Then also what's happening at other schools that even though you physically may not attend that school, there are classes being offered at that other school. Through virtual learning, we're offering more access. So just tap into your school's principal, start there and see how you can be a part of 21st century learning at your school or perhaps another school within the Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Great. One final question that I have for you as we are reimagining 901, what are some things coming down the pike that you're excited to see, and maybe some challenges too?
Oh gosh, there's so much that's happening. We've had a wonderful infusion of federal dollars, so we were able to do so many technology improvements and building improvements, and something with HVAC and making sure our air and heating is working in all of our buildings, and when we were just working with limited dollars. So that's something that's very exciting that's happening. I'm excited about the AP Access for All and offering more AP classes, and ultimately making sure that students who have the academic ability to take honors classes, that now they don't have to do a special application to be a part of honors classes. Instead of having to opt in, if they choose, they can opt out, but I certainly hope no one does, because that just opens the window of opportunity to so many more things for students.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you well as you continue to reimagine 901 with the rest of the board.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Alyssa, back to you.
After the break, we head to a high school that is educating our doctors and nurses of tomorrow.
We see the potential in every single student.
That sounds like a confession to me.
I love watching these kids as they start as freshmen in high school and watching them mature and grow.
At last, my right arm is complete again!
The theater program at GHS, it's something special.
Is very intensive, it's very interactive. When a student starts here their freshman year, they start with Introduction to Theater. And after that year, they have a choice to either go into acting or technical theater. And then after that, they join our production workshop class. It's the class that is completely run by students.
The students do mostly everything. We build the sets, we do lighting, we make the costumes, we do the show.
We've got magic, we've got power. It's very fun. I mean, everybody's very supportive of each other.
Now we're all in this together. It's taught me so much about how to act and how to have a stage presence.
Not only are we teaching the students the skills that they need to be a great performer or a great stage manager or a wonderful lighting designer, we're teaching them skills that they're going to be able to apply to whatever they do in their life. God bless us, everyone!
This department not only makes wonderful theater, but more importantly, this department makes wonderful people.
I won! I'm good! Get used to it!
For more information about the Kappa program, visit GHSKappa.com or call 755-7775. You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
3,
3,000. Page, why it's 3,000?
The purpose of Medical District High School is that it is the only school in Shelby County where when the students come through the program, they receive not only an honors diploma, but they also receive an associate's degree.
So we do have other schools in the district that offer college credit. You know, maybe they have to pay extra to do AP or dual enrollment courses. Here it is completely, it's completely free to students.
So what I want you all to do is I want you to reread Campbell's response, and I want you to answer the question.
Shelby County has choice schools, and what that means is that no one is zoned to us. So everyone has to interview to get in. So the students here are coming from all over the city, which actually makes it really, really interesting because you have all these different backgrounds and cultures. The one thing that we know they all have in common, the one thing that their parents all had in common, is they all wanted the best option for their child.
It was my decision to choose the school, and I know I wanted to be a doctor, and they letting me get to do that earlier. I decided I wanted to go to this school.
Oh man, one of the best schools I've ever gone to. It's a different one, it's a unique one.
Actually, one of my friends, they told me about the school, and I was like, that sounds really good. I could go to school on the college campus, and I could get a high school degree and a college degree.
The school is a part of the campus as this is where we're housed, but we are an independently Shelby County school. But we work together in partnership with Southwest. So Southwest is a partner for us as well as UT Health Science as well.
I will ask someone to identify the operation for us.
Right now, we only have one college course, but in our senior year, we only have college courses.
At MDHS, we do have 3 pathways, one being IT, for those are the students who are interested in any field in technology.
What does processing mean? It has a what embedded? A chip.
The other being in allied health. That means any student who's interested in any part of the nursing or health field.
Okay, we talked about prenatal. What's pre means? Okay, before what? Before birth, okay?
We're asking 8th graders to come to college, so some may not be sure. So once they actually get on the campus, they do have access to the full catalog that Southwest offers.
In the Allied Health pathway, you take health science, which teaches you about the body and things you need to know to be a doctor and help people.
I chose computer science because even though health science is also good, I'm more into technology than I am into like health science.
So that's the Internet of Things, right? Like things, like just appliances, just things that have networking and processing functionality.
So how this program works is the first 2 years, we're responsible for all the teaching and staffing, pretty much for the basic courses. By the time they're in 11th and 12th grade, to ensure that they get that associate's degree, all of their classes are provided by Southwest. And so we are budgeted to actually pay for the tuition for those students by the hour.
We want well-rounded students, and not just well-rounded students, but students that are ready to address the world that they're growing up in. These kids are growing up to run the world tomorrow. You know, they're going to be the ones who are working professions. They're going to be the ones that are making decisions. Some of them are going to be heart surgeons and nurses. We want them to understand kind of holistically from every angle the world that they're living in. We're going to begin a 2-part lesson on history's most infamous atrocity. If there is an atrocity or a genocide or a crime against humanity that you've heard of before history class, I can guarantee you it's probably this one, right?
People think just because it's Medical District High School, there's only medical fields here. You learn a lot here. You learn Spanish.
En el comedor, in the dining room. So you can do it like that if you wanted to say en la cocina.
Well, right now, we only take 1 dual enrollment class each semester. Last semester, we took physical education, and now we're taking wellness perspectives.
We are going to be discussing the neonatal period.
During biology, sometimes we go to the lab like on Fridays, and we use the Southwest's lab.
We help them to get ready for college. So we kind of have a rigorous course of study, and it just helps them to get ready mentally and for a more rigorous future.
So they work really, really hard. They get stronger every day. First quarter, they were solid, but second quarter, a lot of them have a chip on their shoulder. And so they came and they made it happen. And even now, you know, going into our first semester where we're trying to see where they rank, it's just so many ties.
They're actually brilliant. They put thought into what they're doing. They're thinkers. Just their level of thinking for 9th graders or 14-year-olds, it actually exceeds my expectation.
It's hard. I'm surprised I'm still keeping up my good grades, but it's really just about putting in the work to stay.
They're getting stronger every day. Their grades show. When we look at the percentages as a whole, the group as a whole has definitely gotten stronger from day one till now.
I think that they all sense that there's something special here. You know, being the first in this place is it's a big deal.
It's like you're setting down the foundation for the next class.
I'm proud to be the first, but it's also a lot of pressure.
I don't really feel pressure about being the first. It is a new school. It's definitely a new opportunity. I think the goal here is to make sure we give them everything we think they need and think they might want.
We hope you enjoyed this month's Shelby County Schools Report. If you would like to learn more about Shelby County Schools, visit us on the web at scsk12.org.
On behalf of everyone here at Germantown High School Television and Shelby County Schools, thank you for watching today's program. We'll see you next time on Shelby County Schools Report.